So we all
So
held hands at wrestling and we sang show tunes. It was really nice. I
I was
mean, it
going
was
to say it doesn't sound very masculine for wrestling, unless it's is this like the kind of like an alternative wrestling thing where it's like really touchy feely and not in the sportsman-like way.
there's a lot of baby oil and it's kind of weird.
Well, you have to make the muscles glisten. No.
Yeah, I know, but it's the process of, somebody else oiling me and I don't know. It's kind of awkward.
Well, you can always say no means no. I
Yeah,
mean,
but they're bigger than me sometimes.
you signed up for it, but you signed up for it. So it's almost like you're telling them that that's what you want. It's not almost, it is. You
It
telling them
is.
that that's what you want. It's like an open invitation. So you did that to yourself, my brother.
And there's that phrase that's a lot there too.
What, brother?
Everybody's brother is the weirdest conversation. It is just very weird. How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? How you doing? I'm like, some of these people I've never met.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden it's kind of like,
Is it brother or brother? It's a very important distinction. Is it brother or brother?
um, depends who's talking. Depends if it's how pigmented the person is.
Ah, which then brings up the next question. So then it's a pretty varied group of people in your wrestling class. There's like a little bit of
Everything.
every, a little bit of everything. There's
Yeah,
one
there's
of
not
this one.
just
There's one of this other one. This
it's not just a
list.
bunch of white guys. There's white, black, mixed, Asian,
Okay.
gay,
Anybody,
straight.
anybody wearing masks? Not as in COVID masks, but costume type masks. Has
Yeah, we
anybody
got a couple guys.
decided to wear? Okay, so there are a couple of people that are thinking of doing like
A
a
lucha
get
look
up, like a luchador look. Okay.
because I'm still thinking about doing the lucha thing.
Okay, which would be
I
interesting. Has Does your beard pose any kind of issue with the persona you're trying to develop for your sport?
no, should be good. I mean, I found a woman on Etsy that will make my mask. So I thought that was pretty cool. She'll do exactly what I want and how
You
I
can
want
find
to
a
do
lot of
it.
things on Etsy.
And you can find everything on Etsy. It's kind of weird.
Mhm.
She's like, it's not she's like, is this for professionals? And I'm like, what do you mean professionals? She's like, are you going to use it for like wrestling? And I'm like, yes. She's like, oh, are you a wrestler? I'm like, kind of.
Getting there
But
in a
she's like,
year's time or so.
she's like, where do you want the strap? And I'm like, well, I'm like, I got a big beard. I'm like, so it's got to go on the strap. There's got to be a big mouth and then a strap to go under the beard. And
Mm-hmm,
okay,
mm-hmm.
no problem. We can do that. And it's been
So
pretty cool.
have you gotten that yet, or it's being
Um,
made?
It's being made because I have a singlet to match that's
Okay.
being made.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know
Okay.
what a singlet is, right?
Is that the tights?
Yes. But it's the whole little, it's the one with it all attaches to one. So it's one big thing. So there's shorts, there's spandex with
Uh
a
huh.
t-shirt, muscle shirt top.
Oh yeah, yes, 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 yes.
You
Like
look
the
like the
one
actual,
that's like the one that Kurt Angle used to use back in
yes,
the day. Okay.
yes. So it's a white singlet with orange and green pinstriping
Okay.
with a Celtic Celtic knot cross in the front.
Okay.
I
All
don't know what
right.
I'm going to put in the back just yet.
All right. All right. So that's gonna be the short, tight, not the Andre the Giant singlet with the that's like got the brief look, right?
Yeah, we're not doing that. No, 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 no,
Okay.
no, no. I want to make sure my cheeks stay in place. Thank you. Not comfortable
For those
enough.
of you who haven't seen your cheeks already.
My original idea had most of my body covered, and then they saw me and they're like, no. And I'm like, shit.
Really, you wouldn't go for the whole get up like you could probably benefit from the old school, but then that would be a big expense. Do you remember when Ravishing Rick Rude would have his tights like
Yes.
custom made for every event. He would have like his usual wrestling getup, but then for
Hmm.
the big events, he would have these beautifully done
Airbrushed.
stuff. That was
Yeah,
like, man.
he got him. We talked about that one after one class. We were talking about Rick Rude and RVD and
Mm.
about them airbrushing whatever on their singlets. And I'm like, and in Rick Rude's case, it was he had the stretch pants.
Yes. It was the tights and the pants, right? The tights and
Yeah,
pant combination.
because then my daughter's going to
We're boring our
stitch.
listeners, but what our listeners don't know is that I have younger brothers. So when they were growing up, they were watching wrestling during this time period, and I would share in that wrestling viewing with them, and so I kind of remember most of these things.
Oh my, Gracie's going to stitch my robe. So
Okay.
I'm coming to the
You,
ring with an
so you're gonna have a robe on top of everything else?
when I come to the ring, yeah.
Is that gonna be a little overkill in the costume that you're creating for your character?
Why?
Because you're gonna have a mask, you're gonna have a singlet, you're gonna have a robe.
A robe that I wear to the ring, but I take off when I wrestle,
No, no, I know, but that's
like
what I
Ric
mean.
Flair.
I'm like, oh yes, I kind of understand. Okay,
But I want to
I
do
guess.
a orange and green split. So I'm doing an Irish character,
Mm-hmm.
so an orange and green robe, long, flowing, with a hood over the top.
Okay. All right. All right. I would have to see the whole getup. So make sure that when you have everything ready, I want to see how it looks. I want to
I
see
got the
the look
boots.
all put together. Okay.
I got to go get the knee pads.
Very important.
Don't laugh, because I almost blew out my knees last week.
Of course you did.
I took a real bad shot.
This is what happens when you're 40 something getting into wrestling.
Oh, my trainer was not happy with me. He threw me into the corner from across the ring, and you're supposed to flatten out and go face forward.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently, I kicked my legs out from underneath me, and I came down knees first. And he's like, "You are gonna blow out your knees." He's like, "How are you?" I'm like, "I'm good. How are you?" And he's like, "I gotta stop talking to you." So I had so much fun busting on him. He just keeps on
Someone
looking at me. He's like, "Do you know how hard it is looking at a big guy with a big ZZ Top beard and he won't shut up and he keeps on trying to make you laugh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I
Yeah,
know.
I know that feeling. Oh, you're talking about me.
You should talk to my co-host.
Yes. Yes. All
Rocky
right.
deals with this every week,
Yes. Yes, I do. Well, more than every week. Almost every day.
almost every day. We
Almost
talk all
every
the
day.
time."
There's some days that we don't talk because I get too busy at work.
And then she ignores me.
So, yeah, well,
It's only
not
Eric.
really.
Don't worry. So I figured out the answer.
What's the answer?
I
42.
re-uploaded. Purple. I re-uploaded Zoom to my computer,
Mm-hmm.
and usually I split screen it, so I put Zoom on one side and Google Docs on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we ain't gonna do that this week.
And see,
So I got
that's why on my TV monitor, I have my Zoom, I have my backtrack, I have my cart wall, but my Google Docs is in my iPad right here, right next to me.
yeah, I think I'm overloading my poor little computer. So
So yeah, you may be due for a memory upgrade.
well, it's not even that. I don't know. It's only a little. It's not even a computer. It's a notebook.
Oh,
So I may be.
you may be due for like an actual laptop. I'm working off of a laptop, so
That's why I'm like, maybe I've over pushed you, and I shouldn't be doing that. So
just a little bit. So, all right, are we ready? Since this is our third take, people. Third or fourth? I don't remember anymore. I think this is
we
a third
we
take.
did it twice last night, and did it. I mean,
Yeah.
record. We recorded.
Yes. There you
twice.
go. Thank you for correcting.
Don't start rumors.
No. We attempted to record twice last night, but due to technical difficulties, here we are. We're doing
Technical difficulties. My computer took a shit.
this. That's a technical difficulty. So, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Well, it seems like we're going to have to start again because my cart wall took a crap.
Oh, we shall call the Cartwell Ron.
And have to bring it down. I restarted the backtrack.
Okay,
So
while you're doing that, I'm rendering
shut
video
up
on
about
another
my
computer.
speaker. Continue recording. Check my audio devices.
I have 3 computers going at
Everything's
once.
working.
I'm in a far better mood than I was yesterday.
So that's your turn. It's my turn. Here we go. I should have tested the crickets. You can hear the crickets, right?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So as long as you can hear the crickets, that's all that matters. The magic of technology, people. You're along for the ride.
I forget the people are still here.
Yes, they are. All right.
Poor souls.
Take 4. I'm ready in 3, 2, 1.
In room 13 of the Desert Air Hotel, Casino, and Convention Center, there is assembled 2 of the greatest. Well, good. Well, kind of okay. Well, entertaining super hosts ever assembled, they are.
Good morning, room 13. It is I, Professor Evil.
Who the heck is Dr. Evil?
I said Professor. Darn it.
Professor Darn it? I mean, I thought it was Professor Evil.
Yes, it is Professor Evil. I didn't get my teaching certificate from that Knight Junior College correspondence school to be called Mr. Evil. Thank you.
Okay, Professor Evil, we have your attention. What do you need from us today?
Good. Because I have masterminded the most devious plan. I have stolen the numbers on delayed gratification. And I will set them ablaze unless I get $1 trillion.
I am so glad that you think that.
No, really. Why are you laughing?
Have you seen our budget?
Fine. $1 million.
Try again.
Maybe just 1,000?
Clearly, you do not know that we work on a Mojo 50 budget, so you may want to go a little bit lower.
Fine. 100. And I want some nudie pics of the narrator. You have 1 week.
Jinkies, guys. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to try something.
Please, guys. Please. I know the $100 may be a lot of money, but those nudie pics won't be very flattering. The narrator realm is very cold, and I was in the pool.
Have some faith. What could go wrong?
Oh, crap. I'm doomed.
Poor narrator guy. Should we start a Patreon?
Something
Sort of
apparently.
GoFundMe? Because, I mean, I could probably spare $100, but I don't know. What do we know about this narrator guy? I mean, he's got good loving. He's got a
Got a
truckload.
truckload.
He does give it to us every week for now, free. So, I don't know. He works for free for us. So,
That's important. It's very important.
that's very important because we don't have any money. We don't have any money. Oh, hello, everybody. Welcome to Room 13. Thank you for joining us yet again after several attempts. If you watch our video on Facebook, You know what we're talking about. Speaking of social media, you can find us on Facebook, Room 13 Radio Show. You can find us on Twitter at Room 13 Show. You can find us on TikTok, Room 13 Show, because it's that easy. You can find Fish and I on Twitter at The River Fish, at Rocky with an I. If you miss any of our previous episodes, you can catch them on almost all podcast providers. And we are broadcasting to you live, like we do, from the Desert Air Motel, Casino, Convention Center, Bunny Slopes, Strip Club, Mini Mart, and Quickie Lube.
That sounds dirty.
Well, if your oil and filter are dirty, yes. Yes is the answer to that. You can listen to us live as you are right now. You can listen to us on Mojo 50, Odyssey One, and hello to our friends at WBN 324, as we are also playing across the pond on the British side.
Hey, I got a question for you.
You do.
Again, I have waited all week to ask you this very important question.
Okay.
What gives you butterflies every time you get it?
Nothing that I can think of.
I thought the answer was caterpillars. Heyo, thank you very much.
I don't get butterflies anymore.
Oh, not even when you get caterpillars?
I don't come into that many I don't come into contact with that many caterpillars.
Oh.
Before we continue with our show, let me find our newest sponsor and play their commercial spot.
Come on to Kinsey's Boat Store. This is Kinsey speaking. We have everything you need, whether you're a master fisherman, a master baiter, or just a novice at boats. We have everything that is necessary to get you in practice and up for the task. We have every kind of worm that you need, whether it be artificial or real, that you can use to catch all of the fish that you want. And come down this week only for our new boat rental service. Yes, you can ride my dinghy just for $20. And if you go ahead and join our Frequent Fishers Club right now, we'll throw in an extra fish finder for free rental on your fishing trip. Come now, run down the interstate off of the exit just before the beach, and then turn over there down the dirt road, and it'll be the last shack on the left, right next door to the outhouse. I'll be seeing you soon. Bye now.
Just don't
I love that
confuse-
commercial.
Don't
I love
confuse
that.
his shack with the love shack. It's two different things.
And if no one answers, just bang, bang, bang on the door, baby.
Yes.
Knock a
That's
little
right.
louder.
I see what you did there. I like it.
Was your week at work? You have big news. I'm very excited for your big news.
I have some big news. I have told a couple of people, but Rocky is very tired, and Rocky has decided that it is time to quit the retail job.
I
I am
still
very
kind of.
excited because this weekend is the last weekend.
It's not even the last weekend. It's the last
It's,
day. You're not
it's
even gonna
like
make it
the
to the
last
weekends.
day. Listen, folks, I have enough PTO accrued where I can basically call out tomorrow, which would have been my last working day in retail. So I'm very excited. Tomorrow's my last day. I was just telling Fish earlier that I'm hoping to catch some of my favorite customers and tell them that I'm on my way out. And those that won't get to see, that I normally don't see until Sunday, they're going to be SOL because I'm not going to be there.
See, now when you said you were given 2 weeks notice, there is a growing practice among employers that, and I know of one in particular who's on TikTok. He's very popular and very influential, very smart. I like his stuff. He owns a business, and that when one of his employees gives 2 weeks notice, that's their last day. He gives them 2 weeks paid vacation.
Now see that I can get behind.
His reasoning is because he's found over the years that when someone gives 2 weeks notice, not you, But in general, people 2 weeks notice, they unplug and they're kind
Yes.
of going half-ass, and they
Yes.
cause more problems than they
Mhm.
do actually be productive employees. So he thinks, you know what? Take two
Take
weeks,
2 weeks, regroup.
paid vacation. I'll pay for it. Don't come
Mhm.
back to work. And I'm like, wow, that's actually, he's like, because it'll cost me more
Mhm.
to fix the problems you're going to cause.
Mhm. And those 2 weeks that you're gonna be here
Yeah. He's like,
half-assing things.
I'd rather just pay you to go away than have to
Mhm.
pay the thousands of dollars and the bad publicity and the bad customers
Mhm.
to keep you around. And I'm like, damn it. That's a different way to think about things. I'm like, that's actually pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat.
I think that that's a good idea. I'm very traditional when it comes to that, and I'm not a job hopper. I'm the kind of person that stays with companies for uh, the lowest amount of time that I have been with an employer was 1 year, actually less than a year, and it was because the employer that I had after that, whom I was with for 5 years, they called me. You know, when you get like those random calls from like recruiters and things like that, this was a
Mhm.
direct hire. This was the company contacting me directly for this role in their headquarters office. And I was going to be making about $2 more than I was making with the other company. Um, and it was going to be closer to home. So I jumped at that opportunity. And I'm usually pretty steady. I stay with companies for a long time. I like longevity with an employer. So for me, I give employers 2 weeks notice, and it literally is 2 weeks notice because at the end of those 2 weeks, I almost immediately start the other job, like straight away.
See,
Like I don't give myself a break.
I always give 2 weeks notice
Mm-hmm.
just because it's tradition. You're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to. I try not to burn bridges, but inevitably, usually I do because I'm obnoxious.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the longest I've ever stayed somewhere is 12 years. The shortest I've ever stayed somewhere is less than a year because they pissed me off. I realized I'm just like, y'all aren't that professional. I'm out.
And
Done, done.
I have been at this retail job for 3.5 years. If I would have stayed through January, I would have been there for 4 years. But it's not just that I'm physically tired and exhausted. My current full-time job actually gives me the opportunity to work overtime when we perform our fiscal month end procedures, and there's a lot of work that I'm involved in, and I want to dedicate more time to that because it is a lot of skills that I'm learning that I was never involved in before.
And it pays
Retail
more.
is retail. What's that?
And it pays more.
It pays more. It's not just that. I I like them better. What can I tell you? I like them better.
It's less stress. I
It
wouldn't want to
is.
deal with the public.
It's more stress, but it's a different kind of stress. It's volatile is not the word that I want to use. It's more dynamic. There's always something going on. In retail, you have management to be pissed about and you have customers to be pissed about. And there's
Yeah.
coworkers to be pissed about. So there's too many, it's not fun anymore. Yeah, have you ever been with an employer for that long that you're like, this place pisses me off, and you're in the parking lot about to get out of your car and you're like, I don't want to be here?
Yes.
I reached that point a weekend ago. Not this weekend, not the weekend before, the weekend before that. I literally pulled up to a parking spot in front of the store. I'm turning the car off. I'm putting the sunshades in the car, and all I'm thinking is, I don't really feel like being here today. I want to be with my family today. So a minute before I was supposed to clock in,
You
I
blocked
used,
out.
I used the employee app to excuse myself. Family emergency. And I'm like, I'm sorry, family emergency. And I called my husband back and I'm like, hey, I'm
I'm
coming
coming
back
home, baby.
home. I'm coming back home. You want me to pick you up some breakfast? Oh, okay.
See, I used to work at Geico. Well, out them. Geico. I was there for 3 months.
Hmm.
I hated every single passing minute. I hated the fact that I was in my late 30s at that point, and I was surrounded by 20-year-old kids where I'm like, and even my managers were like 27, 28. I'm like,
This isn't the place
yeah,
for me.
this is not good. They want to micromanage me, and I'm like, not good, not good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those things where my wife's like, are you gonna have something for breakfast? I'm like, my stomach is so upset. I'm like, I can't eat anything. And the most I could eat was like a bagel. And by the
Yeah.
time I got actually to the office, I'm like, bathroom, here we go,
Yes. Yeah.
just for the
So
bagel.
for me, yeah. So for me, it's when you get to that point where you can't stand to be there anymore and you actually dread going into work, that's when you know it's time. And I reached that point about 2 weeks ago. I'm also working on a couple of other things, and there are a couple of personal life items that are happening,
Oh,
mostly regarding my daughter, our daughter Melissa.
not our
Um,
daughter.
not our daughter, but my daughter with my husband. She's turning 10 in January, and having a girl who's turning 10, y'all can put two and two together. And this is the time in her life in which she is going to need me, and my daughter comes first.
I have a map of the liquor stores surrounding your house. I will happily
There's
email
the
those
liquor
over.
there. Listen, the liquor
Liquor.
store
I barely
around
know
the
her.
yes, thank you.
You're
The
welcome.
liquor store down the street from where I live here, they have a drive-through window. I don't even have to get out of my car to buy
That is the most
alcohol.
redneck alcoholic thing I've ever heard of.
These people are they're on they I walked in. The place is beautiful, brand new. The place is beautiful. It used to be a restaurant. They converted it into a liquor store. And it's gorgeous, gorgeous. And it's a mixed race couple who owns them. They're former military, very patriotic people. They have a friggin' drive-through window. I'm like, I love you guys so much.
That's efficiency.
So I'm like, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And they usually have like food trucks, like every other day. They have food trucks outside of their parking lot. So I think it's on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. They have the barbecue guy. And some other times, if they can get someone with an actual food truck to come in, they'll have different things. But it's a lot of fun, and it's literally like 3 minutes away from my house. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. So long story short, I have tendered my resignation at the retail place, and I'm going to look forward to going back to doing things that I really want to do on the weekends. Some of them are going to be a lot of fun.
I'm hoping it's that one thing we talked about.
Which one thing?
That one thing. Can I say it out loud?
Sure, whatever
Because
it is.
I've started to do a little bit of stuff like that, a little
We're
bit
all
of voiceover work.
friends. We're all friends here. Yes, that is actually one thing that I would like to get more involved in. I want to become more proficient in audio editing, and I hope to have a conversation soon with producer extraordinaire Chris Branham, because he narrates audiobooks, and that is something that I'm interested in doing. And since I have some of the equipment, if I need to buy some more things, I would like to do that. It's something that I can do in my downtime, and I could still be here for my daughter when she needs it. But not just that, it's like there's a lot of things that I would like to do. I would like to properly clean my house instead of just
I've seen
Swiffering
your
things.
house. It looks fine.
No, 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 it doesn't.
Rocky, husband Rocky took me for a tour.
Yes. Well, when he's here, he tidies the house. But to me, he works two jobs too, and it's not fair for him to spend his weekend cleaning the house. That's woman's work. You know,
I hate when you do this.
it's not technically women's work, but to me, it's like in the way that I was brought up, that's not the husband's responsibility. Even though my husband and I kind of differ from that point of view. But anyway, I'm looking forward to spending time with my family. I want to go back to going to the range. I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. I'm trying to clean up my house because there are a couple of home projects that we're going to be working on soon. And one of the things that we want to do is rip up the carpet. I know this is thrilling conversation for a Saturday morning, but there there are a couple of
Welcome
home
to
projects.
This Old House with
This
Rocky the
Old-
Fish.
Yes, correct.
This
So-
week we will audioly rip up
Yes.
carpets. It doesn't really
That's-
transfer well to an audio program, does it?
No, that doesn't translate very well. But yes, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited to have my weekends back. I'm going to be very excited to make breakfast for my family. I'm going to be very excited to sleep in want to be spending time with my own family and with extended members members of the extended family. And if we want to go out to dinner, it doesn't have to be rushed, and I don't have to come home, wash off the Walmart germs to then go out.
I did tell you. Well, is your brother-in-law coming over?
Um,
The faster one.
I have a
Suddenly. That joke really hits home when you find out that her husband's last name is Lee. Thank you very much. Bruce Lee had a faster brother. His brother's name was Sudden. He had a very, not very good-looking brother. His name is Ugg Lee. And a really bad-looking brother named Fug Lee. I'm done now. Thank you very much.
You forgot about the sister named
What was the
Sarah
sister's name?
Lee.
Yeah, she was kind of a Twinkie.
It's not even the same bakery.
I know, but it's kind of the same thing. They had something similar. I don't know what was the Sarah Lee Twinkie's name? Didn't they have something like that?
No, they had the pound cakes. They had the
I thought
pound
they
me
had
too.
something- Oh, I'm
cakes.
thinking of Little Debbie's.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm
something
hungry.
else.
Gosh
Yeah.
darn it. We just had this conversation.
That is on you, my friend. That is on you. So, enough about me. That's my big news, and I just went on a tangent like I always do.
Do I get to tell a
But
story now? I have stories.
yes, I know you have stories, and I don't want to hijack the time.
I have so many stories this week. What am I doing on time?
You probably have about 4 minutes. So
I could do this one. I was on surveillance this week in a small little, and I wanted to call you so bad and I wanted to videotape it because I saw it happening. And I'm like, it got slower as it happened. I'm like, I should get my cell phone and tape this. And I just couldn't. I'm like, I can't believe this is going to happen. This is so good. I can watch this happen. So I'm in this cool little college town. We will call it Olean, New York, because I was in Olean, New York, and they have a very prestigious college there, St. Bonaventure.
Mhm.
Private school. It's Division I, so it's got a good program there. Anyways, so I'm on surveillance at the intersection of this small little town, and I'm watching traffic, go through. Bright sunny day. It's like 90 degrees. Great, beautiful weather. And off in the distance, I see the girls cross country team
Oh boy.
trotting on down the road, and they are wearing what every college girl you'd expect to be wearing. Yes, guys, short shorts and sports bras, ponytails flapping in the breeze. It was
Are you sure it was just the ponytails that were flapping in the breeze?
nothing else flapped, everything else bounced. They were nice and perky. So when they're in their 30s and 40s, they flap.
Mm,
Anyways,
that's strange.
so I saw them coming down the road, and as they approached there's like 12 of them. They're all in a nice little line, nice tans and everything else. And I say college girls because that makes them legal. If I had misaged them, I would have said high school, and that makes me creepy. So college
Yes.
girls, I could tell. College girls, cross country team. And as they approached the intersection, I noticed traffic was slowing down in all different directions. And it wasn't for safety reasons. Guys, can we pretend we've all seen boobs before and cute short shorts on college age girls? Because this was really, really disappointing. As I watched 2 cars, and then 3, and then 4 rear end each other because they were all watching the girls cross country
Oh
team
jeez.
go through the intersection. The girls team, they had the right of way, and I'm just like, here it goes, here it goes, here it goes. And you watch one guy kind of slow, and then the next guy kind of slowed. And it didn't matter because I know the chain reaction kind of hit. It was boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, and there you go. And I'm like, I don't know what you say at that point. If you're the first guy you slowed down, it's like, well, I saw the girls. I didn't want to hit them. Okay, good. You're in the clear, even though you're lying. But the second, third, and fourth guy that slowed down and wasn't paying attention because they were looking to the right to watch the girls come the other way. I understand it. I don't condone it.
I understand it as someone who drives. So the road that one of the main roads that gets me to my house is a very straight road, and there's a lot of runners there.
How
And
do you
there's
know it's
this one,
straight?
What?
How do you know it's straight? It could be
Because it's straight road.
gay.
Yes, whatever.
It could
It's
be
a very- it's a very-
fabulous.
Yes,
It's a
it's a very
fabulous road.
Yes, it's a very long road, and one side is it has a sidewalk. So a lot of the people who run will run on that side. And sometimes, admittedly, if there's people that are running who look to be in good shape, I'll slow down and take a look because why not? So there's nothing wrong with me taking a look at, you know, these people
You
who
can
are just
window
working
shop
out.
all you want. You
I
just
am
can't go
admiring.
shopping
I am
anymore.
admiring their efforts, and maybe one of these days I'll roll my windows down and I'll say, "You got this. You got
Or-
this." Yay. No, I don't whistle. I can't. And besides, that's a little rude. But anyway, we're gonna take a quick break here. Room 13 will be back in about 2 minutes. When is the fundraiser for Beth's thing?
Where or when?
When? Yeah, when is it happening?
I think it's September 11th. I think it's actually September 11th.
Is
That's
it?
why I
I'm
figured we go
looking-
to the end of. I think we go to the end of August, and then we can go pick somebody else. And if we can't think of anybody, we could always go right to our favorite.
Yeah, no, that's
War
fine.
Horse Legacy.
Yes, of course. I'm just trying to see because I thought that there would be details on the profile about the walk. And
What is she up to?
I just don't see right now. Give me 1 sec. I just clicked on it. I just had it.
On a nice note,
Mm.
nobody was injured in the car accident. No one was
that's
injured
a
in the
good
car
thing.
accident. And none of the runners were either. It was a small little fender bender. People yelled, people screamed, and then they drove on their way.
And of course. I'm trying to see. I think she's still at 1,000. I'm gonna toss a couple bucks in there.
Oh, she's stuck at 1,000?
Yes, I believe so. Ms. Knotts. Miss Knotts.
Did you get Chris's Branham's voice message there earlier this afternoon?
I didn't load it. I didn't load it to the wall. I'll save that for next week. The belt joke.
Just make a little note for yourself.
Yeah, no.
I think we got a lot this week, anyways.
Yeah. You're crackling a little bit. 5 seconds. Welcome back to Room 13, Mojo 50, Odyssey 1, and WBN 324. Before the show gets away from us, like it always does, we want to talk to you about the charity of the month. We are still promoting Beth Knott's Dallas Heart Walk 2021. I believe that the walk itself is happening in September, and she is raising funds for the American Heart Association. She has reached her goal of $1,000, but she has bumped it since to $1,500. So every little bit helps. If you have $1, $5, $10, however many dollars you have that you're willing to part with, please donate it to the cause. We're going to be sharing that link on our Facebook page. It is pinned to the top of our Twitter page as well, or our Twitter profile. So feel free to click and leave your pennies in there as a way of saying thank you for putting up with Brad Staggs for these many years, and for raising funds for American Heart Association. This is something that she does every year. We're very proud of her and the work that she does with nonprofit organizations. So we figured, what better way to pay it forward and help her out in reaching her goal. So there we go. American Heart Association's 2021 Dallas Heart Walk. She is, to confirm, Yes, she is at $1,000. She is trying to reach her goal of $1,500. So everybody click the link and let's donate. So we have to, do you want to do another story? Did you have something else? I think Mr. Fish may be having a little bit of audio difficulties, but because the show must go on, we're going to move straight on to the dad joke segment. This dad joke segment is brought to you by APR Coffee, AmericanPrideRoasters.com, AmericanPrideRoasters.com. This particular week, I forgot to find a tune, a familiar tune, and I didn't get a chance to rework the lyrics to make it work for APR Coffee, just because I got lazy and didn't have any time. Doesn't mean that you should not go to APR Coffee's website, AmericanPrideRoasters.com, AmericanPrideRoasters.com, and get yourself some coffee, because it's Saturday morning, and if there's one thing that I'm going to enjoy about being home on the weekends, is that now I can drink more coffee. I'm sure that Dave is going to be very happy about that because, well, we like to support local businesses. That's just how we roll. But here we are in the Dad Joke segment. I'm going to start off with one from our good friend, Indiana Mike. Here we go.
You know, I tried rocking my 2-year-old daughter to sleep last night, but she is not a fan of Megadeth.
Maybe it's not Megadeth. Maybe you should start her off with a little bit of Metallica first and then kind of work your way up. But I like your style, Mikey. I like your style. Here is a joke from our good friend Lep, whom you can hear later today on American Uck Radio, filling in with Rock'em Sock'em Saturdays, the rock music show. And you can also see him on YouTube at 5 p.m. for Ain't You a Peach with Jamie.
Good morning, my most excellent friends on Room 13. I have a dad joke for you. Why couldn't the Chili practice archery? He didn't have an arrow. Ooh, that's terrible. Hope it's a great show, my friends. Hey, in just a few hours, Jamie and I at 5 p.m. Eastern will be hosting Ain't You a Peach on Facebook and YouTube. Hope to see everyone there. Peace out, my friends. Have a great show. Until next time.
And there was Leb. It seems that Fish is continuing to have technical difficulties. So show must go on. So I'm going to do my best to keep this entertaining. This next one is from our good friend Peter Seraphine, who you can hear later today on Mojo 50, Liberty Lighthouse. His show comes on at 8 p.m.
Hello, Room 13. It's Peter from the Liberty Lighthouse, and sorry it's been so long since I have submitted a dad joke, but I've been diagnosed with a rare type of amnesia where I can't remember 80s bands. There is no cure.
And they're still around, too. The Cure is still around, as far as I know, anyway. That was a good one, Peter. And then our last joke is from our good friend, Knights Husseini, whose voice sounds a little familiar to some of you.
This is the Knights who say knee. My boss accused me of being the worst train driver ever, and then asked me how many cars I've derailed this year. I replied, I'm not sure. It's hard to keep track.
Not to be confused with Off Track, whom you can hear tomorrow on Mojo 50 from 8 to 10. That's Saturday nights from 8 p.m. Eastern Standard to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They're a very cool, fun, and easy show. They cover topics that we may not necessarily be able to do on a Saturday morning, but we try. And they try. They do a really, really good job. It was unfortunate that I wasn't able to join them this previous weekend in Nashville. I really wanted to, but unfortunately, school was starting in Florida that weekend or a weekend after that, or the weekend before that, so I didn't get a chance to go. But Hopefully next year, guys. Hopefully next year. Are you back, Mr. Fish?
Yes, I'm back. I don't know what happened.
Did you? Oh, so you unplugged it and plugged it back in again?
Yes, thank you very much. I went
Okay.
and I unplugged it and plugged it back in.
Okay. Good. So we got our dad jokes done.
Oh,
I plugged in some of our other sister shows on the network.
what sister
And
shows do we have?
well, sister shows and brother shows like
Oh,
American Duck Radio and Liberty Lighthouse and Off Track Syndicate.
what about my
And
favorite?
which is your favorite?
That one with Steven.
American Duck Radio Rock'em Sock'em Saturday?
Ooh, I like that one too. I was thinking of Stephen Airy with Defenders Live.
Oh, Defenders Alive. Yes,
And
they're
his-
a kid brother. You know, they're
and
our
his-
adoptive brothers.
his sidekick, Dylan.
Yes. You know, you haven't told me if the bromance continues. You've kind
He's
of
not
been
talk-
keeping it on the DL.
He's not talking to me anymore. I don't know what I did.
Oh, did you forget to send him flowers? Don't you know that you have to keep the spark alive, Fish?
It's, I think I missed an anniversary date of some sort,
And now he's not talking to you.
and now he's not talking to me anymore.
Mm-mm-mm. You should know better than that. You should know better than that.
You've got mail.
We
You've got mail.
have mail. Do you want to read the email or would you like me to?
Sure. Hey, Rocky and the Fish. I have my own story. Oh, dear gosh. I have my own story to share. The other day, I accidentally rear-ended a car on the way to work.
Oh.
When I got out to talk to the other driver, I was surprised to find out it was a dwarf. He exited his car, ran to me, and looked up and yelled, "I'm not happy." To which I replied, "Well, which one are you?" Love the show. Thank you so much. Stacy and Casey. Did you not pre-read these?
It still is good. Well, which one are you? Well, maybe he was sleeping. Maybe he fell asleep at the wheel.
Something. Definitely was grumpy at that point.
Yes. I don't think angry is a dwarf, right?
No, grumpy, dopey, sleepy, Doc, bashful. I stopped counting after 2. What
Something
was?
like that. I don't know. I never kept track of the dwarves.
I think I got almost all of them. Grumpy,
think.
dopey.
Okay, as long as you're keeping track of the
The
dwarves.
weirdest living arrangement I've ever heard of.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that.
7 guys and 1 woman. Anyways, is it time for news?
It is time for the news. But before we do that, Room 13 News is brought to you by Mike Yehudi's Bakery, home of Indiana Mike's Sticky Buns. They're warm, they're sticky, and they still are right up Gucci. This week only, if you use promo code Room13, you can get some of Mike Yehudi's famous strudel. It's big, it's long, and it tastes oh so good in your mouth. Go to Yehudi's.com to place your order and tell them that your friends at Room 13 sent you.
I love that one. That's my new favorite commercial.
Hopefully that was slightly on key and I didn't break any glasses. Or
I'm thinking one of these times we should just record that and then just submit it to Mojo 50 just for a week, just to screw with people.
Absolutely.
I think that's funny as hell.
Absolutely. Sounds great. That sounds like a plan. We've just revealed our plan to everyone.
Okay, we'll think of
To
something
the,
else then.
to the 2 people who are really listening to
I was
the
going to
show,
say
let's
it's me,
be
you,
honest.
and those 2 other
It's-
people. I'm sure we can trust them.
Yeah. And they'll do it just as a courtesy.
Yeah.
Just do it as a courtesy at this point. So, are we ready for news?
Shoot.
All right, here we go.
Room 13 News, hard-hitting, compelling, trustworthy, honest and caring, with Rocky with an I and the Mojo River Fish.
Welcome to Room 13 News. I am Rocky with an I.
And I am the Riverfish.
Our top story, Hot Pockets recalled 760,000 pounds of Hot Pockets due to shards of glass and plastic found in the product. They were made aware from customers who complained of an improved taste. The customers stated that they also noticed a new crunchy texture, but said it still felt the same upon exit.
Ooh.
Ouch.
A new study found that statistics play an important role in genetics. The study found that statistics prove that numbers of offspring is an inherited trait. So if your parents didn't have any kids, odds are you won't either.
Oh, this just in. We have further details on that blonde terrorist who tried to blow up a bus. She burned her lips.
And lastly, in the mountains of Florida, an elevator for a coal shaft broke down, trapping 27 workers. It was just a minor inconvenience. They were rescued sometime that afternoon.
Thank goodness they made it all safely.
In the mountains of Florida. I would like to, at this point now, come clean. That is not my joke. I stole that joke from one Robert Lamb. Thank you, Mr. Lamb. I stole the joke. The check is in the mail.
Well, don't worry. He gets money from me anyway as a patron through Patreon. So
Oh, okay. So we've kind of paid for it.
That's how we pay them. Yeah, that's how we pay him. That's how we pay him.
Ooh, did you listen to Cop Doctors yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. I am almost done with the audiobook that I'm listening to right now. And then after that, I'm going to re-listen to
Story.
No,
End of All
not
Hope.
Story.
Paralyzed.
No. Paralyzed has a new episode. And at this point it's been a while because I've listened to a whole bunch of other stuff. So I may start listening to Paralyzed from the very beginning.
I only bring
Just
up,
because it is so good.
since I talked about Robert Lamb, the only reason I bring up Cop Doctors, which is his comedy, sitcom-y, goofy kind of show, my episode just came out this week.
Yes, I know that you had recorded that a while back too. So I was looking forward to that. But
I talked to a couple of our listeners and they're just like, which one are you? I'm like, listen to the show and tell me which one I am. And no one's
don't
guessed
you
yet.
recognize? Yes, like don't you recognize my voice by now? I'll probably be able to recognize your voice.
I think I did a pretty good job freaking with my voice. It sounds,
Okay.
even my wife is just like, which one were you? I'm like, that one. She's like, oh, damn.
Yeah. No. Are you a fan of roller coasters
The
and
wooden
thrill
ones,
rides?
I am a thrill ride. I like the wooden ones. Just don't make me go upside down. That's all I ask. I don't want to go upside down.
That's the best part.
No,
best
it's not the
part.
best part.
For me, well, not in a wooden roller coaster. You're not going to get that with a wooden roller coaster. That's
You'll get it
more for like
once.
heights
about
and dips. That's a roller coaster, a good wooden roller coaster. But I like a good thrill ride, and it appears that the Super Death Acceleration roller coaster was shut down for literally breaking riders' bones. This from the HuffPost Weird News Department. Multiple people reported serious injuries after riding Dodonpa at Fuji-Q Highland Park in Japan. A roller coaster in Japan known for its super death acceleration to triple-digit speeds was reportedly shut down after riders suffered serious bone fractures. Multiple news agencies reported 4 cases of fractures in the back or neck linked to the Dodonpa coaster at Fuji-Q Highland Park. Vice reported at least 6 cases of fractures in total, including 4 in the back or neck. The BBC described the 4 back and neck cases as significant injuries, including a cervical fracture and a thoracic spine fracture. Japan's Mainichi newspaper said the riders needed up to 3 months to recover from their injuries. The theme park billed the coaster as having the world's fastest acceleration, hitting 112 miles per hour in just 1.56 seconds, or what the company called super death acceleration. Although no cause of injury has been identified yet, one woman said in December that she might have been leaning forward during the ride. The theme park is coming under fire for not reporting the incidents to the government quickly enough. We should have reported earlier. Now we hope the injured people will recover as soon as possible. Though Dodonpa opened in 2001 and was modified in 2017 to make it even faster. The name is an onomatopoeia referring to the sound of drums. Drum sounds are also used around the ride. The theme park made global headlines last year after it advised patrons to please scream inside your heart instead of out loud to help stop the spread of coronavirus. When it comes to spine or neck fractures, however, the screams were likely to be much more audible. You'd think my good friend Fish is a fish out of water right now. He's still having technical difficulties, so I'll just make a quick note, make comment on this particular article. I don't really know how you scream inside your heart. Like, that doesn't work, I don't think. And the whole idea of keep your screams bottled in because you might spread coronavirus, I'm like, you guys are jumping the shark just a little bit. Like, I don't think that that's how it works. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a scientist, nor do I pretend to be one, much like some other people out there. Since Mr. Fish is having technical difficulties, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cover his story because we still got a couple of minutes to cover. Here we go. Oh, look at that. We were talking about science, and this particular article is about scientists saying that some sea snakes are attacking divers because they're trying to get laid. Yes, I mean, sure, we'll go with that. Sea snakes that have long been known to attack human divers are probably just on the prowl for sex, according to the authors of a new scientific paper. I guess we trust the science here too. To back up a little, yes, sea snake incidents are something that can happen. A venomous creature known as the olive sea snake, which inhabits tropical coral reefs and can grow up to 6 feet long, has been reported to have attacked human divers unprovoked, which, even if the snake doesn't bite, can put divers in danger by understandably throwing them into a panic, note the researchers in the paper published in Scientific Reports on Thursday. The researchers reviewed available data on sea snake attacks and noticed some interesting things. The attacks mainly involved males during breeding season and occurred in the midst of activities like sea snake courting rituals or two rival males fighting. In fact, it's just a lovesick boy looking for a girlfriend and making a rather foolish mistake, herpetologist and study co-author Rick Shine of Macquarie University in Australia told the New York Times. The snakes have somewhat poor vision and are seemingly launching themselves at divers in an attempt to find out whether they're suitable mates, study co-author Ross Alford, Professor Emeritus, Australia's James Cook University, told the Australian Broadcasting Corporation. They just go, hey, there's a big thing over there. Is that a diver or are you just happy to see me? I don't know. Who knows? I'll just go check to see if it's a female snake, he said, adding that once the snake realizes its error, he'll typically leave. That's why Alford recommends that if you find yourself in this unpleasant situation, simply stay calm and allow the snake to investigate you with its tongue. Is that what they're calling it nowadays? Because isn't that usually what happens after the second date? Okay, maybe not. Shine also noted that sea snakes move so fast, you probably won't be able to get away anyway, and trying to fight is just likely going to make the snake more aggressive. This is an article from also HuffPost. I don't know about that. I mean, you almost want to joke about, is that a snake in your pants or are you just happy to see me kind of thing? But when you're in the ocean and you're wearing those tight swimming outfits, those diver outfits, I don't necessarily know how that's going to work. I mean, I can understand that it's a snake. They don't see things very clearly like you or I do, Mr. Fish. Welcome back. But your marine friends, not those marines, the other marine friends, those sea snakes are I feel like no, they just want to feel you with their tongue. Like I don't know how that works.
I leave for a couple minutes, and this is where the show goes.
This is where the show goes. Well, this is what happens. I'm covering your story, man. I'm covering your story. This is what happens. I mean, what do you think about the sea snakes that just want to lick you and just want to make sure that, hey, girl, they think you might be hey, girl, hey, can I lick you? How do these snakes sound? If you were to, since you are a consummate voice actor, what voice would you give the sea snake when it's trying to court a snake?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
lady?
the one we just started doing.
Which one?
Hey, girl. You gotta do a little at the end, like Hannibal Lecter in Silence of the Lambs.
Great movie, even
With
better
a nice
book.
Chianti and some fava beans.
Yes.
Yes, much better book.
I don't know. I mean, the sea is full of wonderful things, but I haven't been to an aquarium where they have sea snakes. That's not one thing.
I went to the aquarium in Toronto. They had a lot of neat things, including an area where you can put your feet in the water and the little fish will eat the dead skin off your feet. Oh, it was shrimp. There were little shrimp that came over and ate the skin off your feet. The dead skin, not like some kind of weird, creepy junk.
Yeah, no. When I hear I think that there are some like spa places that I think I heard. I may be confusing this, but I thought that there was like a spa place somewhere outside of the United States, because this certainly wouldn't happen in the U.S., where they use those little critters to, slough off the dead skin off of your feet. I'm like, what just happened to using a regular old pumice stone? Just, pumice stone would be nice. Soak your feet for a little bit, but
They suck your feet?
soak.
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm like, wow, this show is getting really off the rails. Someone play the music quick. Brad is out there gagging right now. Suck your
theme
feet.
song. Reprise the theme song and roll the credits. No, it's I don't know. I don't know how I feel about I've never been scuba diving. I've never been snorkeling or anything of the sort. So I don't know how I would necessarily react to a snake in the water getting close to me like that. Then again, I've never seen a live
Here's a movie for you then.
What's the movie?
Have you seen Open Water?
No.
Open Water.
I haven't.
Do you know the concept behind it?
The title sounds pretty self-explanatory.
So it's kind of like Blair Witch. There's one camera. It's not professional. It's you feel like you're with
single
two
shot.
characters. It's a single shot camera. So a man and a woman couple, they go scuba diving with the whole boat. And there's like 10 people go in the water, 8 people come back up. But the idiot who's running the boat counts 10. And he leaves in the middle of the ocean. And then the 2 other divers come up. Abandoned in the middle of the ocean with nowhere to go. And after an hour or 2, the sharks find them.
Oh.
It's tremendously gripping and compelling. They did an Open Water 2 that breaks my heart because similar story, they go out in the middle of the ocean on a boat. Big sailboat, big boat.
Yeah.
And they all decide to jump off into the water to go swimming, and no one puts down the ladder. How do you get back up in a boat with no ladder?
But they're next to the boat all this time.
Yes.
Or does the boat drift?
It doesn't matter. They can't. It's such a high sailboat.
Yeah.
They can't get back up into it. The deck is too high up. And the heartbreaking part is one of the women brought their small 3-month-old child, and that's all you hear through the whole movie is the baby crying as the sharks come and attack.
Oh, jeez.
Open Water 2, very, very good movie. Again, I think it's a one camera shot,
Mm-hmm.
so you feel like you're in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Open Water 1 is very good. You can watch Open Water 1, Open Water 2, doesn't matter which one you watch them. They're two
They're like
separate movies.
they're independent films from each other. The
Yeah,
premise may
one
be
does that-
similar, but they're independent of each other.
Yeah, one has nothing to do with the other.
Okay.
Tremendously.
I've heard things about it. Because wasn't what's her name? Wasn't Blake Lively Ryan Reynolds' wife on the first Open Water film?
Was that her?
I believe so.
Spoiler alert, there's little nudity in the beginning of the movie, guys. And if that's her, it's her. Damn, now I gotta go back and watch that one. I forgot about that. I didn't want to mention that, but until you mentioned it was Blake Lively. and I'm like,
Selling point of a film is there brief nudity.
brief nudity, a lot of nudity. You know where there's a lot of nudity? Ooh, there's a good one. Christina Ricci does a movie completely naked from beginning to end. And she plays opposite Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson. Yeah, the guy from Taken. It's called Alive. She's completely naked. Go watch it.
No, I'm gonna take a pass on that. Oh, thank you everybody for coming along with us this Saturday morning. We hope everybody had a great time. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Say good night, fish. Get yourself a new computer.
Yes, good night, fish.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
And that's that. That's the end of that. And here we thought that your technical difficulties were going to be over. Did you freeze again? I think you froze again. All right, folks. Thank you so much for coming along. I'm going to hang it up now because I think he's frozen. Well, he's moving now, but it's probably not going to last for very long. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. Have a good day. Bye.